What's up, fam? We have a story here out of Texas and Florida that is crazy. You know how we talk about child support laws in these family courts, how there are not advocates for the father, no matter if he's a good father or a deadbeat dad, or even if he's not the father in this case, and that these laws need to change. Well, this is a perfect example as to why there really needs to be an accountability, I won't say hearing or investigation on these family courts because this story is crazy as all outdoors. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
Put a finger down if you are randomly strolling on your social media and you get a message that says, hey, check your DM on one of your comments, on one of your posts from a random man. So you go to your spam inbox, messenger, or whatever, and you do indeed check your message. And the message is asking, hey, do you know me? And he proceeds to say, because I think there's a big mistake. And I'm not trying to cause an issue or have any drama. I've reached out to your husband also, but I think there's a big misunderstanding going on and I need to speak with you. So you think nothing of it. You write back and you just say, concerning what exactly? This man proceeds to say child support. And your brain instantly goes, hmm?
Now, can you imagine you being her husband and you getting messages from a guy saying, need to talk to your wife about child support that I'm paying on her child. Now, this would probably throw your husband for a loop. Maybe, and she said somebody told her to check the DMs. Maybe that was her husband telling her that or whatnot. But man, maybe the husband, don't check Facebook because a lot of us don't check Facebook. I got Facebook, but I just post videos. I don't really check it like that. But just imagine, I know her surprise, but as a man, that would probably sink his heart, then enrage him to hear something like that. To where, man, shoot, if it was me, boy, I'd be running home. I'd be at the house with the quickness, like, oh, we need to figure out what the heck is going on because who is your baby daddy?
And so you call on Messenger. And when you call, and via this call was about 10 minutes, you guys are talking, and his name on the social media is similar to your actual child's father's name. So you ask, hey, what state are you in? He says, Texas. You've been receiving child support from the state of Texas for the past almost 3 years, consistently.
Hold up. I watched this video a couple times, but this is the first time I actually thought about this. If you've been getting she's you live in Florida, you've been getting child support from the state of Texas for the past 3 years. Just let that sink in, y'all.
From this man whose name is similar to your child's father. So you ask, well, what's your full name? He says his name. Him and your child father have pretty much the exact same name, except the middle names are different, but same initial. So he asked, well, it's his birthday in September. You say, yeah, so when's your birthday? Exact same birthdays, different year. But here's the thing. So you're like, okay, this is weird. I'm in Florida. Child's father is in Mississippi. You're in Texas. The child support application and case started in Florida. So how did it get way to Texas? So somehow, some way, state of Florida and state of Texas have linked these cases to this man assuming paternity over your child. Mind you, you did DNA testing for your child, court ordered, but you're guessing your child's father never got the correspondence, never went and did his part. And the state has assumed this man as your child's father.
How can 3 years pass and if you're a dad and the woman says she's gonna put you on child support, but you never get a letter in the mail or a note or anything like that? You don't think something is odd about that?
This man has been paying child support consistently. And he says, I know for a fact I have 2 kids. And I've been to Florida, to Miami, and had a few nights, but I don't remember that night. And you're like, yeah, we don't know each other at all. Not at all. So you call the state and, try to get clarification on how did this even happen? And you have literally been giving your child's father grace because he doesn't do anything else but pay this consistent child support for this child. Oh, so you thought. Well, he has not been paying child support, and he does not deserve grace because he's actually a deadbeat. And he has said nothing. Mind you, he knows he was supposed to be on child support, but he has not said a word. And this man, come to find out, who lives in a whole other state, has been paying child support for your child for the past 3 years consistently. And your child's father has said not a damn thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna play. That's the only video I'm gonna play because she has two other follow-ups, which I'm gonna put the link in the description where you can go to her page and watch the other two follow-ups. But I'm gonna be the devil's advocate, like I always am, or try to be. How could this guy not know that he was on child support? Let's get it out the way. He's a deadbeat dad. Bottom line. I mean, there's no two ways about it. But I can tell you like this, in my own personal experience, when my kids were like younger, well, after me and my ex had a divorce, and let's say we got into it, or hell, even we was married and we would get into it. Uh, she was, early, she was, ready to leave and keep my child away from this and the third. And then when you get older, you be like, man, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not gonna happen because hell, I wasn't a deadbeat. I was always there every day for my kids. So I know it's just lip service. And then while you divorce, a couple of times I was like threatened to be put on child support, right? But that was because there was like arguments and stuff like that. Or new people in the relationship. Well, anyway, that's what I'm saying. I had like a couple of threats like that, but it didn't happen because again, I'm there every day. I mean, I take care of my kids, so it is what it is. And it was lip service up until the time it wasn't. And like I said, that last time when she said she's gonna put me on child support, I said, man, I'm done with these threats. I'm gonna go down to the court. I'm gonna go down to the attorney general's office and create my own case. Like I said, I knew somebody, and they said, hey, that's probably your best option. When I went down there, found out that she had actually at that time put a case on me. So then next thing you know, I started putting money in the account. So you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, it's like I mean, they didn't know I had money in the account. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know I did the money had been in the account before we even went to court. But anyway, I already told that story 150 times. Y'all can go back and find videos about that. So but my thing is that she could have said she's gonna put him on child support, threatened to put him on child support, and then he backed off waiting on it, and it never happened, so he never questioned it. But again, if you ain't doing nothing for your child, then yes, you are considered a deadbeat, and you should have reached out because let her tell it. You talk to your child on a regular basis through phone conversations. She was getting money. I don't know what it's like getting receiving money for child support, if it's a check or if it's in your account. I know when I got my refund check, that son of gun came as a paper check. And like I told you, one day I'm gonna show it to you. And I cashed it and kept, you know what I'm saying, and kept it because of like my freedom papers. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, sure, I'm still paying, you know what I'm saying, for my child while she in school, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm not doing nothing for my child. It was just the whole child support thing. But anyway, yeah, I mean, because me, there's no way in the world that I wouldn't do, make sure I take care of my child. So my thing, but I'm tripping like y'all don't know he's in Texas. Like if the daughter talks, did was it like did she not ask him, hey, did you move to Texas? Are you still in Mississippi? What's going on? There wasn't no conversation, but I guess she's one of them parents that's like, Your relationship is between the two of y'all. Me and him have nothing to do with each other. If something come up, you can call him, you can talk to him. But she 5. So yeah, probably ain't a whole lot of conversation she can have at the age of 5. So if he's not like reaching out to her and they're not in the same state, that's another thing. So really, probably ain't really much to talk about too much. And Mississippi is closer to Florida than Texas is. So this whole case is crazy. But anyway, I want to read the article where I found this at, so y'all can get a more of a perspective from that the man's uh the supposed being dad, but not really the dad from his perspective. So I'm gonna go to, I believe this is what you call this, Atlanta Black Star. And it reads, it says, you need to give it back, quote unquote. Texas man pays child support to woman he never met for 3 years after state's mix up. And again, you're gonna want to like, how in the hell did he not realize what was going on? Well, we're gonna get into that. It said a black man in Texas was stunned to learn this week that he has paid more than $10,000 in child support for a 5-year-old girl in Florida, unrelated to him, for the last 3 years, likely because his name and birth date are similar to those of the real father. Roderick Dwayne Davis, 45 of Dallas, shout out to Dallas, told Atlanta Black Star that he received a letter from the Attorney General's Office of Child Support this week demanding $1,400 in overdue child support for a child in Florida. He was stumped as he has no children in Florida and has never lived there. He does have 2 daughters in Texas, now 18 and 23, for whom he's been paying back child support for several years. Now, the question is, why are you paying back child support? Why are you not caught up with the child support? But we'll get into that later. When he examined his pay stubs, he realized a third child was added to his garnished wages in January 2023, and that since then, Texas has taken $10,961 from his paycheck for her support. And you probably wondering, how did he not know this if they send the letters? Because I know when I was on child support, they sent letters to me like every month. But you know what? I never opened them. I just never opened. I never really opened. I don't think I opened the majority of the letters. I ain't gonna say I never opened them, but for the most part, I didn't open them because it was getting paid. Everything was on time. It was coming out of my check. There was no need for me to look at them. I wasn't behind. No, I wasn't behind. So there was no need for me to look at them. So I didn't. I didn't. So that's probably how he. No, probably how he handled it. Like, shit, I'm paying child support. I know it's coming. What the hell I need to look at the paper for? But to say he did, that's if it. But it comes. It don't come like every month. I think it came like periodically. So I guess when he got his, that's what he opened it and paid attention. But again, he should have opened the first few letters that came, because 3 years is a long time, and they will write you. So that's what I'm saying. We don't really, like myself, I know I don't, and I can tell he didn't really open these letters all the time unless it's like a certain thickness. If the thickness is different than it normally is, then you'll open it up. You say Davis, who works as a national manager for a fine arts company and now earns more than $140,000 annually. Damn, put his business out there, huh? Said he hadn't previously noticed the extra line item of $126 in each bi-weekly pay stub. He was aware he was paying more overall for child support, but chalked that up to the fact that he's received pay raises over the last few years and put them into a higher tax that put him into a higher tax bracket, and just figured more was being deducted for his 2 girls. That's not how it works. The mother of your child in the state of Texas would have to go down to the Attorney General's office and ask for more money, which is what was the mother of my child did. Once I got a I got a better job and more money, what I'm saying, got a raise and stuff. She went right down there and got and said she need to get the rest of that. Which I'm like, I ain't tripping. Go and do, do whatever. Whatever's going towards my child, do whatever. But I think it's a time, it's only you can only do a certain amount of times for a mother to go down and do that, because I know there used to be cases where as soon as a guy get a raise or a bonus, mama going down to Attorney General's office and getting her part of that money. But I think now I don't know if it's you have to wait either every year or every 5 years or something like that. And I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. It was like every 5 years. I'm not sure if the years are right, but you have to wait, or 4 years. You have to wait. The mother has to wait, or the custodial parent, let's say that, has to wait to go down to the attorney general's office to try to request an increase. So it doesn't just work that, oh, because you make more money, they're going to automatically take that money out. No, that's not how Texas work, player. Where was I at? After visiting the Texas Attorney General's website and doing some sleuthing online, Davis learned the name of and located the mother of the unknown child and initiated a call via Facebook Messenger. She was just as dumbfounded as he was to learn that the wrong man had been financially supporting her daughter for 3 years. She told Atlanta Black Star. So, which means if he got hit with $1,600 that he was in arrears, which means that nothing was being paid the first 2 years, which is why he only been on child support for 3 years, and he's only paying like 125, which is crazy. Now hold on. Anyway, that is crazy. I'm sorry. That's what she said, quote unquote. This is crazy, said Shakita Harvey, 38, a clothing designer who lives in Lake Alfred, Florida. Somehow, Florida and somehow Florida and Texas linked these cases without verifying any identity or paternity information. This man has been paying diligently for my child all this time. What a mess! What a mess! End quote. The real father of her child, she said, is Roderick Dion Davis, who is 44 and also has a September birth date. He lives in Mississippi and has never lived in Texas to her knowledge. She has been puzzled as to why she'd been receiving child support payments from Texas, but didn't question it. Huh. Harvey does not communicate with their child's father directly, she said, but her daughter talks to him and his mother via her own phone. This is the issue with having children. This is why we're trying to push now, carry before you marry. I mean, marry before you carry. I'm sorry. That's what we're trying to push that now. Getting away from the old ways that we used to do stuff. Trying to get it back to where it needs to be, to get the family back together, because y'all have a relationship to where I mean, it was good enough for y'all to clap cakes, clap cheeks, and make a baby, but y'all have no communication with each other, to where you find out after the fact that he's a deadbeat. And then it's like you don't talk to him, but you allow your daughter to talk to him. She want to talk, find out, want to talk to her daddy. If there was some form of communication, if there was some form like a cordial agreement or a cordial relationship to where y'all can actually talk. Because I tell y'all, like I said, me and my child's mother, we text or what have you, or we have text when it came to our children, and that's it. That is it. Nothing about child support, this, that, and the third. But if y'all would have had like a cordial relationship, or still being together, this wouldn't have happened. But a cordial relationship, and you were getting these letters or getting these checks or these deposits from the state of Texas, you would have asked them what was going on. You would ask them where you living in Texas, but I guess because the names were similar, the initial was similar, you just said, "Hey, it is what it is. I'm just gonna take this money and run with it. I don't care if you live in Texas, Florida, Mississippi, or Hoboken. He's paying child support, so that's fine. I mean, whatever address he want to use, maybe he thought he was going to get away with it, and Texas found him. So it is what it is." In an exasperated TikTok post about the situation on Wednesday, Harvey called him out for shirking his responsibility while another man unknowingly took it on. Quote, "You've been giving your child's father grace all this time because he's been consistently paying," she said. "He's actually been a deadbeat and hasn't said nothing, not a damn thing," end quote. Now Davis and Harvey are working together to try to rectify the situation. Harvey called the Texas Child Support Office this week to explain the identity mix-up and to terminate her child custody case. She said, reminding them that she had provided court-ordered DNA samples for herself and her daughter when she applied for child support in Florida 3 years ago. Now, see, this is the issue we got with the system. because the system didn't care. The system said, well, hey, we got one dad who's one guy paying child support. This is his name. You didn't ask the man for his address. Ain't you got to verify where a person live? And what about like insurance? Ain't you got to talk to this person and verify this information before you start taking out money from somebody's checkbook because he was in a national system or in the system? Y'all just said, "Hey, that's the same person," although the years are different. The months are right. Maybe we got the years wrong. And it don't matter. We're gonna take money out anyway, and not even question. That's the problem I got with this system. Because what about? Let me finish this first. The Texas Attorney General asked her for the name, birth date, contact information, and photos of her child's non-custodial father, which she provided. They should have asked me for this stuff 3 years ago. She said they never validated anything. They just were so careless and went after the wrong man with a different middle name and birth date and garnished his wages. Davis, meanwhile, visited the Plano office of Attorney General seeking help. Hey, that's where I went to when I went to go. Like I said, when I went to go start my own case, that's where I went to, the one in Plano. And like I said, finally it was already started. Yeah. He said the staff there was able to pull up a profile of the real father, including a photo of Roger Dion Davis with his hair and dreadlocks. That ain't me, Davis said. I've always had a fade. The Attorney General staff told Davis they would review and research his claim and escalate his case to upper management, but that would have to wait at least a few weeks to talk to someone. Quote, y'all took my money expeditiously, he said afterwards in a Facebook Live post. Now I was going to play that too, but he take like 2, 3, 4 minutes before he even gets started. So I'm like, y'all don't want to see that. I might put that link in the description too, so y'all can look at that too. Now you need to give it back. I ain't trying to scam the system. I just want what's mine. How can the state of Texas get away with this? End quote. He warned other fathers who are paying child support to stay aware. You got to watch these folks. I got caught sleeping. Well, and that's true. Because I said too that I didn't always open up letters from Attorney General. I think the only reason why I opened up that last letter was I remember opening the last letter knowing uh, that I was done. Once I had my last payment, so when that last letter came, I opened that one so I can see it. But then later on, I got another letter from the Attorney General. So I'm about to get pissed. I'm like, I know I paid everything. What could this be? I don't owe anything, whatever. And it was, like I said, a refund check. So it was all good. Davis says he has contacted several attorneys who advised him that a civil lawsuit against the state of Texas was not likely to result in a monetary award beyond what he has paid out and perhaps accrued interest on those funds. Their own retainer fees will cost at least $5,000. He said, and that's true. They were giving that $10,000 back plus interest over that time, so he might get extra $5,000. He said if he recovers what he has erroneously paid to Texas, he'd like to invest in a food truck, a side venture he's been thinking about pursuing since he owned a restaurant years ago. Now, this is probably why he's on back child support. Because if he owns, let's say if you are an entrepreneur and let's say the state put you on child support and let's say you might have lost a business, lost a job, went out of business, not making money like you should be. And since you pay yourself, it's not like there's anything to garnish. You have to go in and pay it yourself. So if that's the case, that could be why how he was behind in child support. And once you are behind on that system, man, it is hard to get back right. It is because they're gonna charge you what you owe. They're gonna spread it out, and they're gonna charge that interest, and it's gonna take a grip for you to pay it back. So there's no telling how much he paid back, but he's like, sure, he ain't even tripping because he know he owes. So he, what I'm saying, he did what he did. He's doing what he's supposed to do. So he ain't tripping. So the court must hold a pre-trial hearing, and then, if it deems necessary, order the legal father and the child to submit genetic testing. If that's what they should have been done. Because the mom said she sent it in. She was asked to. She sent it in for her and her daughter. Well, if the fella and they ask you, They asked the mom, where does he reside? And she said, Mississippi. How in the hell did it get to Texas? And again, they will ask for child support. I mean, ask for a DNA test. And they never got a sample, so they didn't think anything was wrong with that. No, because they got a guy over here already paying child support. Probably say he was a deadbeat before. He trying to be a deadbeat to another child. Let's go ahead and get him. Go ahead and get him because he got all these babies paying child support. Let's just go ahead and get him again. We'll be all right. If the testing results say that the legal father is not the biological father of the child, the court may order a termination of the parent-child relationship and the financial support obligation. However, the man is still responsible for any unpaid child support and interest up to the termination date. What? See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm talking. This system is jacked up. But again, they said he might get it back. It's a no fault state in Texas. So they said he'll probably get his money back with interest. But this is jacked up. Think about them dads who are married, or dads who uh, put their name on a birth certificate believing that that child is theirs, and then come to find out it's not. So they try to terminate the relationship, and the court say no, you got to continue paying for this child. But it's like, I didn't know it was mine. I thought it was my child, and now it's not. But you got a dad out there who needs to be paying for what he did. He needs to be paying child support, and they like, no, you've been paying, you keep paying. That's the stuff I'm talking about. And this here is like no different. This is crazy. The website does not cover its procedures when a man has been deemed the legal father due to a bureaucratic bungling. The Texas Attorney General's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Atlanta Black Star about how it would handle this or other mistaken paternity cases involving apparent administrative error. Man, I'm glad I'm done with that. I'm glad I ain't got no more child support. Me and Attorney General got nothing to talk about. I don't even, shoot, no, we ain't got to talk. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Matter of fact, hell, he got enough problem as it is, being divorced and getting sued. So me and him ain't got nothing to talk about. But yeah, y'all, this is crazy. Fathers, dads, whatever. One, like I said, we gotta do better with the relationships with people we with. Two, uh, always get a DNA test. It might be tough. It might take a while for the courts to mandate DNA test, paternity test, but you can always get one online or I think do they sell them at the store, I think, over the counter, but you can always get one and do it yourself. And you ain't got to tell nobody. Seen plenty of videos where guys got DNA tests and then they go to the mother, and it be Christmas or it be their birthday, and they wrap it up in a gift box. And when she open it up, she look at it, she read it and see that he's not the father. And then they act dumbfounded, like, I can't believe you did that. How could you go behind my back and do this? Well, you went behind my back and got your backs blown out and end up with this baby. So how could you do that? But anyway, stay vigilant, stay diligent, fellas. That's all I can say. But anyway, with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in once again. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out of your day, but it means the world does here at this channel. And with that being said, I leave you in peace and love, and I'll see you on the other side.